Welcome in, everybody. It's the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. I am Greg. I am being joined by Captain Milwaukee, and that's Flexi. What's up, buddy?
I like that name. Do you know what I'm thinking right now?
What are you thinking? That you're thirsty?
To get a dialogue script of a Fraggle Rock episode. And then just read it off in our shitty Boston accent.
Wow, it's been a minute since we brought up the Van Duzas.
But actually, recite an entire episode. That just crossed my mind.
That's been so long.
For 2 years.
Yeah, do we need to get Coley back in here and just find a Fraggle Rock script?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
But then never put the episode out there.
No, just a half an hour of us and Fraggle Rock, and no one can ever hear it. I keep threatening it. I don't even know if I still have the files anymore at this point.
I bet you do.
Yeah. Who do you want? I want to be Gobo.
Is that the guy with the orange hair and the no eyes?
It was the only name I could come up with.
Yeah.
Oh, and Red. Gobo Red.
Red's the guy with the orange hair on.
Yeah. Of course, Sprocket's the dog. And
Yeah.
Sprocket. Anywho.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just
Yeah. Van Duzas.
randomly popped into my head.
Yeah, I like that. It's been a minute. Follow the Van Duzas at Craft Beer Republic, and of course, Flex Me a Beer _ in between.
It's me.
That is you, Mr. Flexi Van Duzer. We got quite the show for you. Got some beers to tell you about. Mine comes from a trip. We have a voicemail from the Fontana Jim.
What's he on about this time?
Oh, he's angry at me. We will get to that. Some ludicrous libation law, booze news, and so much more. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to crack open a beer because it's going to lead into my story about a trip. Yeah, you know I'm gonna love this one. Do you know what this is just based off the can art?
It's that Alaskan brewery.
No, sorry, denied. I am drinking.
What's it called? Anchorage?
No, it's not that. No.
Damn.
I am drinking. There does not exist. Spirit Molecule. 6.6%, has a 396, only 168 ratings. It is a hazy IPA. They say Spirit Molecule is a center of the universe style hazy IPA brewed with all the oats and wheat plus DMT. Just kidding, dude. There is absolutely zero DMT in this beer, even if it makes you feel like it. Hopped at life-changing levels with Citra, Cashmere, Comet, Nelson, and a touch of Columbus Cryo. It's got all the heavy, overripe tropical fruit you could want, plus some dank, hippie lettuce to balance. Go ahead, friend. Take the trip. We're here for you. Been hanging out with the writers at Stone. On the schnoz, a lot of that tropical fruit they reference. Like some ripe mango. Maybe some peach in there, a little bit of dankness. Let's do the real work here and stick in the old tongue jobber.
Dig right in.
Okay, so the tropical fruit is delicious. And here's where Flex would get a little hard on. Got a little bit of that hot burn after the tropics.
I'm a little bit hard on.
A little semi going on, a little half chub. And then it finishes off a little dank. And it just coats the tongue with that sticky icky.
Man, I love me some hot burny dank IPAs.
Yeah, it is good. As you can see, it is a proper hazy. It is gorgeous.
It's leaving color. Quite the lacing.
Yeah, some great lacing. It's ooh-wee, as they say.
Ooh-wee.
So, of course, I took a little trip up north-ish and went wakeboarding, but had to stop in at There Does Not Exist.
Naturally.
Yeah, we had the day off. We took a day off. We were going to go on the lake a day early to avoid the crowds. Go down on Friday. But we were going up to my sister's house to go wakeboarding with her and her husband. And did you know she got married? Yeah. Not very well known. And she had to work that day instead. So we just went up, made our way up there, stopped at There Does Not Exist, and had a beverage. You know what? We're so cheap. We stopped at Costco, which is not too far, and we got gas and some hot dogs. No, some hot dogs. And we took the hot dogs order There Does Not Exist and had lunch and beer because they don't have food there.
Oh, well, hey.
Yeah.
Might as well. That's great.
Yeah, worked out well. So then went up, got some wakeboarding in. Oh my God. I totally forgot about this story until just now. So we got some wakeboarding in. Friday night when we got up there. We didn't wakeboard Friday. We did a little wine tasting. You know, we're wine club members at a bunch of places. So between
kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. I got badges and shit. Between the two groups, the two couples, we can do some pretty good free drinking around town where she lives in Paso. And we had a couple wine tastings. We're not drunk by any stretch. We hit up the grocery store to get some dinner to take back and make. And I was like, let's get a couple bottles of wine to cap off the night. I shit you not. I'm walking back to the car. The wife stayed in the car because we had the dog with us. And she said something out the window like, "Oh, you got wine?" And I went, "Oh, yeah." And I raised the bottles up in the air like, "Yeah, I got wine." I dropped one.
Oh, no.
Shattered all over the parking lot.
No, man.
It looked like a fucking murder scene. So I actually picked it up. I was like, I felt so bad. I was like, I don't want a car to run over this and pop their tire or something. So
what a great human you are.
I picked it all up, threw it away. Some dude in his Tesla was watching the entire thing. I was so embarrassed. I feel like such a fucking idiot. I wasn't even drunk.
Accidents happen.
I know. I feel like a dumb shit. But yeah, also alcohol abuse. There's just a bottle of wine sitting on the parking lot now.
Did you lick any of it up?
And a little Zamboni action.
Gross.
Oh, so pissed. And then next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, did some wakeboarding. As this episode drops, I think I've posted it already. I did try to do a little photo shoot out on the wakeboard with a beer.
No way.
I thought that would be funny for the gram. Brought out a, what was it? Humble Sea. I brought out a Humble Sea that I just found in the fridge. And I was trying to figure out, like, how am I going to get up on this wakeboard one-handed? Because I'm strong, but not that strong. And plus, I was so tired. It was the last run of the day. So I ended up, like, tucking it in my life vest, which was very cold. And I got up, pulled it out.
Nips was hard.
So hard. So at this point, like, once I'm up out of the water, like, I'm one-handing the rope. In fact, I've got it, like, in the crux of my elbow. I'm just hanging on to the handle that way. I'm opening the can. I'm drinking it. It was like a 2-year-old beer that I just found in the back of the fridge, and it was supposed to be a hazy IPA. At that point, like, all the haze had dropped. And this is not a shot at Humble Sea because I love their murkies. They're great, but or foggies, I should say.
Foggies, right?
Yeah, they're great, but it did not age well. It was definitely a dino. And I'm out there, and I didn't realize how old it was till afterwards. I looked at the date. And I go to take my first sip as I'm wakeboarding. I'm like, yeah, here we go. And I like go to fucking pound it. And I was like, it was so bitter. Like
spitting out dust.
Yeah, I was not expecting that level of bitterness because it said hate or foggy on the front of the can. I was like, oh God.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go check the gram for photos of me pretending to. I was drinking the beer while wakeboarding. I'd never done that before. It was an experience.
Well, it's something you can put on your resume now.
Exactly. My alcoholic resume. And now includes wakeboarding one-handed while drinking a beer. So
I'm still working on, I don't know if I ever told you I got a longboard for Father's Day.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah. So I know Maplewood Brewing in Illinois, they have a beer called Sidewalk Surfer. I might even have had it on the show once. And my goal is to drink this beer whilst longboarding.
We need to make it happen.
And I feel like that would be like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. You got to put it in your life vest first.
That's what, or like a helmet.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. But that's what your story reminded me of is I eventually got to do this.
Yeah.
But I'm so scared.
I'm looking. You did have Sidewalk Surfer. Batch 361 about a year ago.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Really good beer.
Yeah. So that was fun. Got poured beer. At one point, like I got back in the boat and the wife was like, she goes, why are you pouring beer all over yourself? Like I thought you were doing some wrestling, like, or not pouring, but like spitting beer out. She's like, why are you spitting the beer out? Were you doing like some wrestling thing? I was like, No, I took a giant fucking drink and was very surprised at what ended up in my mouth. That's what she said.
The fact that your wife is like, oh, he went on his wakeboard and he did a Triple H impression.
She doesn't know enough to know that it was a Triple H impression.
That says a lot about you, though, as a person.
I thought you were doing a wrestling thing. I mean, who says I wasn't?
That's the best part of the whole story.
Well, I am the game. It's all about the game. So,
oh, man.
yeah. Good times. Good times. Check out the gram at Craft Beer Republic for me trying to chug this very old, not fresh beer.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Before I forget, top listening city of last week, Minkler, California. As a native Californian, I've never heard of it before. I had to look it up.
I know nothing about California. It's hot.
It's very hot, especially in southern. Minkler apparently is like 20 miles east of Fresno. So thanks, Minkler, for
yeah.
No
Take
thanks.
that out of the show. That was horrible.
Edit point. Also, I want to give a shout out. This is a weird one to Romania. You know how we're always topping the charts in Finland?
Constantly.
Yeah. We topped some Romanian podcast charts last couple weeks.
What is happening?
Yeah, it's very weird. Like a couple of episodes charted as well as the show overall. So, hey, Romania, if you're listening, thanks for listening. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you ever
Any Romanians?
It just makes me think of the movie Euro Trip. I love Euro Trip.
I haven't seen that in so long.
Such a cult classic for me. But when they go to like Eastern Europe and everybody is like 20 years behind the times, you know, and the lady's wearing like or the guy comes out and he's like, hey, where's the beef? You know, they're just like, what? And he's like, Miami Vice, #1 new show, you know. Just makes me think that there's some kind of like time warp where it's just like Craft Beer Republic is like the #1 podcast.
They're still listening to episode 3 over there.
Craft Beer Republic, #1 new show.
I hope that's what's happening over there.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So, hey, Romania, what's up? But not to, overshadow. Hi, Finland. Still
What
love
up,
you
Finland?
guys, too.
I will do some Romanian deadlifts, though, in lieu of this accomplishment.
That's very commendable of you.
It's a real exercise, Greg.
I totally believe you. I lift weights all the time.
Clearly do.
Yeah, it shows in my fat face.
And your one-handed wakeboarding skills.
Yeah, exactly.
Nailed it.
Yeah. This world trip is really shaping up. We got Finland, Romania. Was it South Korea, I think, was charting a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we got to start an itinerary.
Yeah, let's gas up the jet.
You got a jet?
No.
You're probably closer to jets than I am.
I don't know. Erica's married to a surgeon, McDreamy. Wonder if he's got a jet. He's got to make good money, right?
Got to get places fast to do heart
Yeah, he's got to
surgeries.
cut people open and shit. He's got money and has to
Definitely
be
got a
places
jet.
fast.
I guarantee he has a jet.
Erica, are you holding out on us? McDreamy's got a jet, right?
Show us the jet.
Show us the jet. Oh, gosh. Have you done any local research since your St. Louis trip? You still drinking St. Louis beers?
Still drinking all the St. Louis beers. Yeah, I haven't got out too much locally. I'm kind of a loser.
I wouldn't say that.
I won't. No, but yeah, just a ton. I actually brought home way more St. Louis beer than I was expecting.
Is that a problem?
No, I was actually like happy about it.
Oh, okay, good.
You know, or it was like a couple breweries we stopped at, took them to go, and then a couple times we had to stop at I loved their grocery store name, by the way. It's called Schnucks.
All right.
It's just a goofy ass name, right? And every time we had to pass a Schnucks, my kids were like, "Hey, Dad, Schnucks!"
Schnucks.
But their beer selection was always pretty solid, and
Okay.
I'm very Midwestern.
Yes.
So when I'm in a foreign land,
Fort Land of St. Louis.
I'm very very talkative, right?
Oh.
I'm always trying to talk to the locals.
Chat up the cash register person.
Or so we was in the beer aisle, and it's in the middle of the store, like as if it was like a frozen food department.
Okay.
And there's a couple beer vendors that are filling up their stuff, and it was 8:30 in the morning, which here you can't buy alcohol till 9.
Really? In Wisconsin?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
It's like a huge ordinance. Can't buy alcohol till 9 a.m.
But they don't cut you off till 8 a.m.?
Well, when we had the RNC here, a lot of people were staying open until 4 a.m.
Oh, is that a big deal, 4 a.m.?
Yeah. Well, bar closes 2 a.m. here.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Bar closes at 2, last call 1:30.
Yeah, some places downtown were staying open until like 4.
Do they have to get like special permits for that?
Do I look like a city councilman?
I mean, the glasses make you look smart.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. And I'm not. But anyway, I was talking to the guys, and they didn't seem like they wanted any part of it. And I was
Shut up, nerd.
I had like an armful of beer, and I was like, "Hey, can I like buy this now?" And they just kind of looked at me like, "What?" I said, well, in Wisconsin, I said we can't buy alcohol until after 9 a.m. You know, it was 8:30, and they're like, "Oh yeah," they're like, "I'm pretty sure there's like it's ordinance by county, but they're like, I don't think that's a thing." So I'm sure it's not. If I went to the register and bought like 5 packs of alcohol,
I'll take 5 alcohols, please.
Beer is not alcohol. I guess
right, as proven by John Candy.
Thank you, John Candy.
Yes,
who didn't know what a dry county was.
Yeah, that's great. Those Canadians do it right.
That was funny.
I also heard another Canadian story that at the store, I don't know if it still exists, but this is like a story from the 90s. When you go to buy Tylenol, it's not Tylenol, it's actually codeine.
Come on.
Yeah, David Spade was talking about this on his podcast. He's like, I didn't know I was getting so high. I just had a headache. So he's buying all this codeine and popping like 4 at a time.
Oh,
he thought it was
gosh.
Tylenol. Yeah.
Fucking wild.
Yeah. So, yeah, they don't know what a dry county is, and you can just get codeine over the counter like it's no big deal.
And where was that?
Yeah. We should go up north.
Oh, man. We go up north here, yeah.
Yeah, let's go up
When
north.
you said that.
Well, while we're talking about St. Louis and buying beers, let's just fucking get right into it.
Thanks.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are bigger than growlers, only one tongue can guide us. One man, one tongue, one tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
Well, hello, everybody.
Good evening.
So today, so I'm drinking St. Louis beer. Like I said last week, I stopped at Four Hens Brewing, and they're about 3 blocks south of Busch Stadium.
Busch.
You know, where the Cardinals play.
Uh-huh.
And I bought Scale of Complexity, which, looking them up on Untapped, I didn't realize was like a series.
Oh.
So this is kind of neat. It's a hazy IPA series, and it seems that they do like a single hop in it.
Oh, I like that.
I was lucky enough to come across the cashmere hop variant.
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah, I saw this beer. You're the first person I thought of. I know how you feel about cashmere hops.
Very hard.
So apparently it must be relatively new, or people just haven't rated it, but only 201 check-ins.
Okay.
So maybe I got some fresh of the fresh.
Those St. Louisians are like fucking cashmere again.
Who needs it?
Yeah.
But it's 3.86 rating.
Okay.
So, still respectable for whatever.
Above average.
201 ratings, yeah. It says, Scale of Complexity. Cashmere, the 10th in our rotating series of hazy IPAs, is heavily dry hopped with cashmere hops, resulting in a beer with lower bitterness, but massive aromas and flavors of zesty lime, ripe berries, and lemon peel. So I'm going to tell you what, Greg.
Tell me.
Crack the can. And I always sniff. Do you sniff the can after you crack it, or do you wait to pour it before you?
I generally wait till it's been poured, I would say.
Okay. So I always smell after cracking the can.
Okay.
To then see if there's anything to differentiate from can to pour. Right?
Okay. I find that my nose isn't that great, so I need my wide open glass in order to fucking smell anything.
Don't do that to yourself.
I like your style.
You have a great nose.
Oh, thanks.
It's wonderful.
I'll stop.
So I crack the can and I pick up a lot of malt character. Right? So I'm disappointed. Immediately I'm disappointed.
Right. Like, where's this going?
So then I pour the beer out. Boy, I pick up on a lot of malt character again, Greg.
Uh-oh.
I'm starting to lose it.
Rot raw.
I am starting to lose my fucking mind, right? So then we warm up the old tongue jabber.
Oh, yeah. Never gets old, even though it probably should.
Here's where it gets me. It says it's got like the lime flavor, the berry, the lemon peel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It comes through in the flavor.
Oh.
Like, it's wild. There's a little bit of malt character like in the background.
Mm-hmm. Like an
But
appropriate amount.
Right. It doesn't overpower what it is. And it says it is a hazy IPA, and it's hazy.
Looks hazy.
It's 6.5%, so it's a little bit on the lighter side. But this is, I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's what they tell you it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super solid beer. They did a good job on it. I don't know why there's so much malt on the aroma, but
It's weird.
the flavors come through, and it's not as juicy as I would prefer a hazy.
Okay.
But it is it's a good beer. I would drink this beer again. I have had this beer before the show, so I have had it again. And,
Right.
I would have
Continue
it
to
again
have
and again and
it?
again.
Yeah.
Right.
How did the St. Louis beers stack up to your algorithm? How was the pricing down there?
Oh shit, man! I forgot to tell you about this shit.
By the way, if you haven't heard about Flex's trip, last week we talk all about it.
So the first time I bought beer in St. Louis was at Four Hands, and I grabbed 2 4-packs there. I grabbed a hoodie, and then I had a beer, and then we bought like some French fries and tater tots and shit for the kids. And it was like the whole bill was like $70. The sweatshirt was only like 30.
Holy shit.
So I'm just like, what's happening here?
Sweatshirts out here are like $70.
Right? Yeah. No, believe me, when I got the receipt, and I was just like, oh, holy shit, I would have bought 2.
They forgot something.
So then I didn't even look at the price of the 4-packs, right? I'm just kind of like, okay, this is kind of weird. Then we stopped at one of these schnooks one morning. We were heading out to the
Makes me giggle every time.
Purina Pet Farm that they have out there, which is kind of, it was neat. I didn't talk about it last week, but they like train the dogs, and they have like this whole dog show and like the agility thing and the pool diving shit. Like I
didn't know they had that out there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was really neat. That's a lot of headquarters in St. Louis, I figured out.
Well, now I can absolutely convince the wife to go between the Budweiser Clydesdales and the Purina Farm, and this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, and pretty solid beer. So we stop at one of these schnooks, and I'm perusing the beer aisle, and I talked to the guys, and they were kind of rude, but I'm pulling out some beers, and I had to get out some Untapped on some, and just because I wasn't familiar with too many of the breweries.
Sure.
So I bought this 4-pack from Second Shift. I've never heard of Second Shift. I think I've heard of Third Shift.
I think I've had Second Shift via Tavor.
So I got this triple dry hopped double IPA. It was 8%, $12.99
for a 4-pack.
For a 4-pack. So then,
first of all, Tavor's ripping us off. That's like that much for a beer.
Jesus. So then I told you I found that. Maybe I didn't tell you on air. I found the volume. We had a couple of these Voltron series beers.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. We were talking about that.
The Four Hands, and they collab with the brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 Voltron bots, 5 beers. Well, I found the Series 5 at this Schnooks. I'm just going to keep saying that. And it was a collab with Tripping Animals.
Oh, shit.
Again, it's like a hazy IPA. They used, I think it was like Nelson and something else. And I'm a whore for Nelson. And I'm also a whore for these Voltron series.
Both true.
I think it's like 7%. It was like $11.99, $12.99.
Okay.
And I'm just like, if I lived in St. Louis, their beer prices are amazing.
Yeah.
And they fit the algorithm perfectly. I'll send you a picture of the Second Shift can too. It looks wild. It's just really well done. A little bit abstract, but simple at the same time. And yeah, I guess St. Louis kills it with the beer price.
Well, and that's pretty good for you to say, because sometimes you talk about 4-pack prices in your hood. And I'm like, that's it? For 4? Are you sure you didn't just buy 2?
Right, right. So it's clearly different, from here to you. But I always thought it was really good here. Like for most of the stuff we have. Apparently, it's better in St. Louis.
I wonder if they have to compete with like Budweiser prices.
So that also crossed my mind as well. Because when I stopped at Heavy Riff and I was talking to the wonderful beer tenders there, I said, hey, you guys distribute it all, you know, because I was pissed I couldn't spend enough time there. So I just want to have more of their beers.
Makes sense.
And they said, no, they said getting distribution around here is kind of hard.
I bet.
I said, I bet A&B doesn't make it easy on anybody. And one of the guys was like, no, they don't.
He's like, I can't say anything too loud because we're bugged, but they don't.
Yeah, so that it's a shame.
That is a shame.
It's a shame. So it makes me wonder how Four Hands finds their way, because we get the Voltron beers a couple times out here. I've seen one other of their beers in a Total Wine, but
and not to get too nerdy, but Budweiser also has a distribution arm that is separate from beer, like the beer making arm.
Okay.
So in theory, I think you could distribute with Budweiser, but not be owned by Budweiser.
Interesting.
So if you could convince them to carry your shit, then you might actually get some shelf space.
I did not know that.
Like Stone. When Stone sold, Sapporo only bought the brewery. The distribution side of Stone was a separate business, and they still exist, and they distribute. Now, the funny thing is they still distribute Stone, but they also distribute some local stuff around me, like Tarantula Hill, Made West, Enegren. They're all distributed by Stone Distribution.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. The whole like distributing and 3-tier system and all that shit. It's weird. It's all Budweiser's fault too.
Again, that's all I could think of when I was there.
Yeah, thanks to Prohibition. All right, before we hear from Fontana Jim and how angry he is at me, real quick, got to mention Magic Mind. We've been talking about them for a while. Add them to your morning routine. Have a cup of Joe. Have a Magic Mind. You'll probably need less Joe. And we all know we're tired of Joe. Actually, I love coffee. But anyways, I take it. It's easy. It's one little shot. It's green. It's surprisingly pretty tasty. I think you can attest to that.
I will attest. It is not bad. It takes about half a second to drink this thing.
Yeah.
And it works.
If it takes more than that, then you need to work on your drinking skills.
Oh, you need to work on maybe a lifestyle change.
Yeah, maybe that too. It's a very small, I think it's like 2 ounces. So it's a nice little shot in the morning with your coffee. Helps the coffee last longer. I don't find that I'm reaching for energy drinks, around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Just keeps me going a little bit longer on that. I talked about this last week. It is my performance enhancing drug when it comes to trivia night. I do not miss my Magic Mind when I'm doing trivia that night. Otherwise, Deb and intern Brian may fire me from the team.
I believe it.
Yeah. They're the best. Like, they're so much better than we are. They're so fucking smart with the trivias. But anyways, Magic Mind helps me not look stupid around Deb and Brian.
At trivia.
Yeah, at trivia, which is fantastic. I know it's helped you with your memory stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it really clears out your headspace. It dials you in.
Yeah.
The focus.
You don't forget your lunch.
It's there. You don't forget the lunch. I eat now.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm always skeptical about natural products, right? We're in the age of modern medicine, right?
Yeah, so, you put a bunch of plants in something, who knows?
Right. So, the holistic, the all natural, always skeptical about it.
Same.
Elixirs, if you will.
Right.
This stuff does it.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I actually do.
They sold me.
Yeah. And I like that there's no sugar, me, no carbs except for beer, which is a lot of carbs. All natural ingredients, keto friendly, nut free, vegan, paleo friendly. Like I said, no sugar. Has matcha in it, which seems to be the main flavor is matcha, which is definitely not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all.
Not a bad thing at all. So anyways, if this sounds good to you, sounds like something you need a little more focus or a little memory, or you're trying to not have 4 cups of coffee like me every day. I'm trying to keep it down to like 2.
Or spend $8 at Starbucks every morning.
Oh gosh, that's another story. I was about to go on a whole Starbucks rant. We'll save that. Just have some Magic Mind instead. If you go to magicmind.com/craft beer and use our code craftbeer20, you get up to 48% off your first subscription.
48%.
You know what that is? That's almost half.
That is almost 50%.
Almost half right there. Or 20% off a one-time purchase if you just want to give it a try. And they even have a money-back guarantee, 100% money back, no questions asked. You have 100 days to try it. If you don't like it, you let them know. They give you a little refund. So magicmind.com/craft beer, no republic, and craft beer 20 is the code to use. All right, we've been teasing this. I think it's time to find out why Fontana Jim is mad at me.
Because you're a nice guy. I don't know what you could do to anybody to make them upset.
I do appreciate that, but I'll be. I should just play it, but I will be honest. He has a fairly valid point here. So here is Fontana Jim.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, listen, all you nuggets. This is Fontana Jim calling in. Look, I got a bunch of advice and a bunch of ways to tell you knuckleheads how to drive. I'm going to save that for another call. Right now, I need to address idiot founder Greg. Now listen, Greg, it's been a couple weeks since we've heard you pissing and moaning about, I need to do a seltzer and I need to stop drinking beer because I'm becoming a big old giant fucking fat ass, and when I drink seltzer, I tend to lose weight. I just don't know what to make. Oh my God. Look, you've talked about how you've got flavor people in your world, in your universe. If not, GTF, baby. Google that shit. Figure it out. I will give you the keywords.
Google it, bitches.
Beer flavoring. If you Google those two fucking words, you'll get 5-6 companies. And then, well, what should we do for flavors? I don't know what flavor to make my seltzer. How about you make them non-beer flavors, you big knucklehead? How about green apple? Green apple is an off flavor in beer. How about you make a seltzer with green apple? Even better. How about you make a ding bear favorite? How about a candy apple? How about a caramel apple? That's right. Buttery caramel green apple. Perfect seltzer flavor. Perfect for summer. Exactly all those kind of dialsicide or died bad flavors that go into beer.
Yeah, but
how about you do that, you big giant clown?
You big giant
that
clown.
That would be a nice seltzer. Who doesn't like a candy apple? Pour it over ice. Put a straw in it. What do you think, Greg? Big knucklehead. Fontana Jim, check it out. Yeah.
Big
it's
clown.
diacetyl and acetaldehyde. I fucking know. I'm the Fontana Jim.
He had to call back and let us know that he could actually pronounce shit.
Holy shit.
By the way, did it not sound like that maybe Fontana Jim was a little bit from West Virginia?
It got a little bit of West Virginia, yeah. I think he's just so loud.
Yeah, got a little that in there at a couple points.
He was really getting after you.
Yeah, apparently I have grinded his gears. I have not done the whole brewing a seltzer like I said I might. First of all, I said I might. Fontana Jim, not would.
Yeah, you big clown.
Yeah, you knucklehead. Here's the thing. Green apple sounds fucking horrible.
It's the worst flavor in the world.
It sounds like the only flavor I would never drink.
It's the first vodka flavor I ever threw up on. That's a lie. But it's the vodka flavor I threw up the most on.
That tracks. Yeah, that sounds horrible. I do not want green apple seltzer.
No.
Caramel apple seltzer, better.
I had a caramel apple beer. It was delicious.
Oh, okay. Did you have a caramel apple Bud Light seltzer when you lost?
Oh, no. I think it was just apple.
Oh, okay.
Apple, pumpkin, marshmallow, and pear.
Wow, you took your Magic Mind today.
I think that's what they were.
Wow, yeah. When you lost and Mel sent you the world's worst fucking package of alcohol.
Plaid cans.
Oh, it's garbage.
Yeah.
Fontana Jim, how about you come back with some good flavors? How about that, you knucklehead? Nobody wants a green apple seltzer.
Yeah,
clown. What's your favorite Jolly Rancher flavor? Mine was watermelon.
Cherry.
I should do either.
This is like before the blue raspberry shit too. Like What were the originals? It was lemon, green apple, cherry,
but-
watermelon, and grape.
That's all I know. I don't eat that shit anymore. I don't know the new fancy flavors. So to me, watermelon is the creme de la creme.
See, cherry was it was like sweet and tart as a candy. It was perfect.
Maybe I should do one of those. Well, I already have a cherry seltzer. Maybe I should do a watermelon. Oh my God. Have you had the high noon watermelons? I think I
we talked about it on the show. They're terrible.
Oh, fucking garbage.
Yeah, I had one at a pool party last year.
Yeah. My sister had some. She clearly listens to the show. She's like, hey, you want a high noon? And hands me a watermelon.
You know,
Like,
she did that
go
on
fuck
purpose.
yourself. Yeah,
Dumbass.
exactly.
She's not dumbass. I'm sorry. She's maybe a big clown.
Or knucklehead.
Or knucklehead.
Yeah.
I appreciate Fontana Jim did such a great job at keeping things PG.
It's true. Yeah.
Like,
You could call me a fucking idiot or something like that, but instead it was knucklehead.
yeah,
Clown.
brilliant.
Yeah. Very, very good there.
What a
805.
Respectful man.
What a respectful, angry asshole. 805-538-BEER. That's 2337. Thank you, Fontana Jim, for calling me out. One of these, I got to talk to Nick, formerly of Current, and now works for the flavor company. And
I'm ready.
yeah, I'm ready. So I got to get some. Maybe I could be the one that makes a good watermelon. Maybe that'll be my claim to fame. Good watermelon seltzer.
Well.
I mean, at that point, I guess Nick would really deserve the credit, not me.
To
But-
be continued. Well, the company.
well, the guy, yeah,
flavor
Amaretti would
company.
deserve the credit. So,
Right.
yeah. Anywho,
Well, now I'm interested in what you're gonna do.
maybe I will do something. I haven't brewed anything forever. Why not? Why not fucking do a seltzer? What the hell? I
Get
should,
it?
I should research that. I got 2 empty keg spots on my kegerator.
It's a problem.
It is. Put something in those.
Like a seltzer.
Like, like a goddamn seltzer.
Put a red nose on the keg tap.
A red nose.
Yeah, so you remind yourself you're a big fucking clown.
Not a big fist to remind me I'm a knucklehead. I like it. All right, ludicrous libation law. This one comes from Wyoming. No drunk dealer may do business with a drunk person.
No, what?
Junk dealer.
Is that a normal thing in Wyoming?
I did not know that was an occupation, but apparently in Wyoming it is. If you're
Hey.
going to deal some junk,
What'd you go to school for? Junk dealing?
you junk dealing son of a bitch.
You imagine getting home from a long week's of work and your wife's like, "Oh, what's wrong, honey?" "Oh, just dealt so much junk this week. I don't know if I could deal any more junk."
Or you go to the doctor's office and they always, for whatever reason, the doctor always asks your occupation when you're filling out your forms. You know, age, height, blah, blah, occupation, junk dealer.
Junk dealer. In Wyoming, it's just the boxer junk dealer or other. It's like the most popular occupation.
Junk dealer, rancher, other. That's all they got.
Unreal.
Yeah. So don't be drinking if you're going to do some junk dealing.
Maybe
I
they
guess.
just did that so they could come up with like there's got to be a fun rhyme for that. Like if you're junkin', you better not be drunken or something.
Don't be drunk when you deal the junk.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Like a poet.
I'm a moron, and I couldn't think of something so simple.
Oh, I got your back.
It's what a good co-host does.
Yeah. Let's do a little news before we get up out of here. You know, a few weeks ago, we were talking about how hop acreage has declined
Right.
in recent years. Well, the 2023 global hop production is up 11.5% despite,
Well, good thing it's 2024 though.
well, you know, they're never up to date. It's always a year behind. But despite the shrinkage, if you will, of acreage, there's still higher hop production. Global hop acreage declined 3.3% in 2023 versus 22, the second consecutive year of decline in a significantly sharper reduction versus the year before. There was approximately 149,847 acres of hop cultivation area across the globe
Big number.
in 2023, a decline of 5,000 acres compared to 2022. So once again, acreage down, hops up.
Well, speaking of shrinkage, I did drink a beer
Go
called,
on.
I drank a beer called Shrinkage the other day.
Oh,
And on the bottom of the can, it said, I was in the pool. I thought that was hilarious.
that's pretty good.
But that was the best part of the beer.
I like that. The beer itself, not so great.
No, it poured it out, and it smelled like a lit firework.
Ew. What kind of beer was it? What type?
It was a cold IPA.
Doesn't sound like it.
It was not great.
Oof. That's
Yeah.
not what they're supposed to smell like.
No, it was not good.
Sounds like it was like a Roush beer or something.
It just tasted like not
Firework.
good. Yeah, it did. Like the aroma went to the palate a little bit.
Oh, it really tasted like that?
And then you'd be like, oh, now there's a little bit of orange in there.
Burnt orange.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah.
I won't name the brewery. It was a Wisconsin brewery, but
That's fair. Sounds awful.
all you got to do is look up the beer shrinkage, though. And
All right. I like the can, though. The can sounds fun.
yeah, the label, like the whole art could have been better on it, too. But I didn't buy it. Was at a party, and it was there. And
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, if I were to say to you, what's the number one beer in Texas? What would you say?
Shinerbach?
Overall, not just craft, overall beer.
Oh, overall beer? Sheesh. Overall beer in Texas. I feel like this is a trick question.
I mean, the answer is a beer, so it's in that way, it's not a trick question.
All right, it's big beer.
It is big beer.
It's big beer. Let's go weird with like Michelob Ultra.
I like that you went weird. You're wrong, but I like that you went weird. That was better than just saying like Budweiser or something like that. Dos Equis is the number one on-premise beer in Texas. So tap handle on-premise beer in Texas. Heineken USA's Dos Equis import brand is the number one beer on-prem with 10.2% total share and top handle in the state by dollar sales.
I don't know. That's weird.
Well, and I actually learned something besides the fact that Texas loves shitty Mexican beers. I did not know that Dos Equis was owned by Heineken.
I guess I thought they were Anheuser-Busch or something.
I guess I didn't know. I didn't really know who owned them, really. And apparently it's Heineken. So that tracks.
Yeah. Dos Equis is like my least favorite Mexican German beer.
Mexican German beer. Yeah, I mean, I've said it a million times. If I'm going, cheap Mexican beer, probably like Pacifico, maybe a Modelo or
Definitely I can't say it.
Modelo.
Modelo, not Modelo.
I find myself now sometimes saying because of you, Modelo.
I just when I talk on this, I don't want to get made fun of anymore.
Sorry, bud.
Oh, I can't help myself.
We'll end it with this one. A Kent State professor was
Kentucky.
Was arrested after an alleged drunken 911 phone call and argument over whether she can drive drunk.
Come on.
A Kent State University professor was arrested after calling 911 to tell police that she was locked out of a building and had to use the restroom, and later argued with officers over whether she was intoxicated. During an initial 911 call, Dr. Ellen Glickman, director of the School of Health Sciences, you would think that would be a smart person, uses an expletive to tell the dispatcher she needs to get into her building, later telling another dispatcher she has to use the bathroom. She says, "Can you do it immediately?" during the call, attempting to get officers on site quickly. The officer that arrived allowed Glickman into the building to use the restroom, asking her to call for a ride. Glickman denied being intoxicated and insisted that she could drive her Tesla home multiple times before threatening to call the officer's captain. "I think I'm okay. I have a Tesla," Glickman said. "Just because you have a Tesla doesn't mean it's going to drive itself," the officer said. Glickman was eventually taken into custody and charged with disorderly conduct by intoxicated. I've never even heard of that, which was later dismissed after court documents show she paid court costs and completed community service. But I love that. "I have a Tesla. I'm fine."
Do they not drive themselves? I thought they drove.
That's the thing. Like I'm with her. Like
Right,
I know
like that was when she said that. The first thought that crossed my mind was, "Hey, that's not a bad idea."
Yeah, like I know the whole thing is like you still need to be sober in quotes when you're driving your Tesla. It's like if it drives itself, it fucking drives itself, people. Yeah, I'm okay with it. People are afraid of self-driving cars. Oh, they hit one other car. It's like, yeah, people hit cars all the fucking time.
I am terrified about self-driving cars, but
Doesn't bother me.
well, you're a tech guy.
Well, just the accident, ratio is way less than humans. If you check out the stats.
Well, if there's statistics, then
That makes it okay.
right.
Anyways, so
It's a numbers game.
it's a numbers game. Yeah. Survival of the numberist. I hope everyone stays hydrated out there. I'm going to hit some music and say, go get drunk and drive in your Teslas.
And hi, Vanessa.
And hi. Oh, yeah. Hi,
Did we say
Vanessa.
that? We didn't say it.
I don't think we did, but we did just now.
It's been a long night.
It really has. Here we go. Make sure you check us out at Craft Beer Republic and, of course, at FlexMeBeer _ in between. 805-538-BEER is the number to call. Mail at craftbeerrepublic.com. I think that's everything. Hope everyone out there is staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
Good night, everybody.